The first day I had the GMC train, I had a little accident. As you can see, this truck ran me head on. But even though the Ford was demolished, not a scratch on the GMC, proving that GM has a far better build quality. See, proof right here. That's going to cost a bundle to fix. So while he's waiting for a tow truck, I'm going to drive off and get some lunch. Well, let's see what vehicle we're getting today. 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. That sounds expensive to me. Yeah, it's got all the goodies. The price just keeps going up and up and up. And there you go. What a bargain. And here's where it's made, if you're interested in that. There are 3 gasoline engines available, a 2.7-liter turbo, a 5.3-liter V8. And what we have here is the giant 6.2-liter V8, 420 horsepower. And here's the fuel economy claims, 15 to 20, 17 overall. We're going to take this out in the real world and see if that's true. By the way, this is the sticker for the 2.7-liter turbo. 17 to 20 with an average of 18, almost the same as the 6.2. Might as well get the 6.2, I guess. By the way, around 8 weeks ago, we also had a GMC Sierra 6.2 with the AT4X off-road package. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video if you want to watch that review. If you want to see how that 2.7-liter turbo engine in the GMC truck works, we had that engine in the Chevrolet Silverado, which is basically the same truck as the GMC. We'll have a link for that video as well. And here we are, black metallic paint and summer heat of 100 degrees. It's going to be hot inside that cabin. We'll talk about that a little bit later. 22-inch wheels, wowee. This tailgate has some interesting tricks. Example number 1, press this top button. I'm told this is used as a workstation of some sort. You can also position this to use as a step. Works pretty nice. However, one word of warning. Do not do this if you install a trailer hitch in the slot, because you will damage the tailgate very, very bad. Only about an inch or two of room between this and the slot. If you want to pump up the step while this is level, this acts as a backstop if you're carrying sheets of plywood or lumber to keep them sliding off the truck. That's the good news. Now, some YouTubers who have driven this truck claim you can put sheets of plywood and lumber 8 feet long. Nope. I measured from here to there. It's 7 feet 9 inches. Just ain't going to make it. Otherwise, it's a pretty good idea. And when you lock the truck, this whole system locks up too, so you don't have to worry about people stealing your tailgates, which in the past has been a popular activity for Chevy and GMC tailgates that have a way of disappearing in the night. And trucks are made for hauling, so I'm going to deliver this bed 125 miles away. We're going to take this on the freeway, therefore, and get some real fuel economy figures. This tailgate has a few tricks. We'll look at that a little bit later in the video, so don't go away. And so far we're getting 13.6 in mixed commuting. We're going to reset this and start our highway trip like so. If you like taking highway trips, this is definitely the rig to do it. Even with those large outside mirrors, the wind noise is reasonably low enough. Alright, 128 miles, 18.3 mpg, at 72.3 miles per hour. I was doing a bit more passing than I should have been. A bit heavier on the throttle. In my second trip, keeping it 65 miles per hour, we got 20.5 mpg, so yes, it can be done if you're not in a big hurry. One more highway trip. I'm going to set the cruise control and try not to pass anybody. Maybe they'll bump up the numbers. Well, 22.6. Using the cruise control works pretty good, doesn't it? The cabins have always been a sore spot on GMC and Chevy trucks, but not now. They've done a pretty good job redesigning everything, especially if you order something like this with all the leather and fancy trim. Another thing I like about GMC and Chevy trucks are a lot of simple knobs and buttons instead of going through an info screen to do everything. Look at all these buttons we have down here. Climate control, very simple to use. If you don't like the rotary knob shifters they have on the Ram, you'll probably like this stick here. Info screen is large enough, easy to use. The sun visor slide back to keep sun from the side windows. 2 glove boxes, one on the bottom, one on the top. A nice gauge cluster, and you can change the appearance. There's a menu here. Display layout. Left side info, right side info, lower gauges, etc. Take your pick. Paddle shifters on the steering wheel for changing gears manually. If you're towing a heavy load in the back, this comes in handy when you're climbing hills. The only real complaint I have is this fake wood. Come on, what's this, 1970? At least I'm told it's fake. It does look real, though. I'll give them credit for that. Hard to tell. And here we have 2-wheel drive for the street, 4-wheel drive low, 4-wheel drive high for off-roading, and auto 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive actually, for traction on the streets if there's rain or snow. A very good feature to have. Some trucks you only get 4-wheel drive high and low, intended for the dirt, not the street. Here you're covered regardless of the environment you're driving in. Below that you have the drive mode. Off-road, sport, normal. Take your pick. On this truck, the side steps pop out when you open the door. Close the door, they retract. Come on, hurry up. There we go. And you can raise the seats for better storage options. Or if you want to hide something under there, you lower the seat again. We will be taking this out in the dark to test the headlights and do some other night driving. Part 3 of the video, so don't go away. This truck has the optional adaptive suspension, which is supposed to provide a very smooth ride. However, it also has 22-inch wheels and tires, which is also supposed to destroy the ride. So how's this combination work? Let's go find out and hit some speed bumps. This truck rides very smooth on the street. Let's see what happens with these speed humps. Around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Here comes number 1. Number 2. You can definitely hear the tires bouncing around, but it doesn't reach the cabin. Number 3. And here's the big one. Yeah, I felt that one. I really don't see the need for 22-inch tires. If you ever get a flat, lots of luck find a replacement. Hardly anybody keeps those in stock. 20 inches is usually the way to go, but take your pick. In the meantime, the power steering is excellent. Good feel, good feedback, great response. No complaints from me. By the way, we do have a heads-up display. I've been driving with it turned off. Now we've got it turned on. For general use, the smaller V8 5.3 liters is more than adequate, but if you're hauling heavy loads, the 6.2 is hard to beat. It's a real powerhouse. I'm doing this in all-wheel drive, because if I do it in two-wheel drive, I'm going to smoke the tires. They want a gallon of gas. Nice brakes, by the way. So what's my take on this GMC Denali after a week of driving? What can I tell you? It's a fantastic truck. It's also expensive. 80 grand, and you have to put the gasoline in. If you can afford it, you'll be happy. Alright, let's stick these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. Part 3 of the video. Alright, here's what the headlights look like on low beam. Seem pretty bright. And the taillights. And the emergency lights with the taillights on. Look pretty bright to me. Same in front. And yes, with the headlights off, definitely brighter, easier to see. I was expecting some flash on the outside mirrors, but I guess not. And again from the rear. And for this price tag, we expect some good cameras, and looks to be. Let's Let's see, what does this one do? I guess that's for trailering. I guess that's for off-roading. Shows the outside of the tires so you don't run into a ditch or run over a wino in the parking lot. Not sure what that is. Pretty decent quality. Gauge cluster lights up pretty good. And we do have a heads-up display, which we turn on or off. And all the controls light up pretty nice, including the shifter. And I almost forgot my favorite part. If you want a standard mirror, you have it, but there's also a camera system in the rearview mirror. Gives a very wide view, works great in the daytime too. And it's pretty dark in back. No lights at all, however. With the rearview camera, almost looks like daytime. Very impressive. Now getting to the headlights with the low beam on a wall 33 yards away, or 100 feet. Very bright, goes just above the bushes, that's good height. Wow, very strong in the center. No complaints here. And down here, we have a control for automatic headlights. Turns on the high beam or low beam, depending on the terrain you're driving on, number of cars coming. Computer does it for you. I don't like that. I turned it off. I like controlling my own lights. But it's there if you want it. Alright, let's take a peek down here. Standard headlights. High beams really reach out there. These are pretty good lights. And the info screen showing the map. Definitely large enough. And lighting up those freeway signs, not an issue with these headlights. Low beam, high beam. Lights up the signs all the way down the road. And the rearview camera system works pretty darn good. A very wide range of vision. And driving down these dark, dingy streets, no complaint with the headlights here either.